the idea to solve this problem, guys, what you got to do is think about these as coordinates who are having trouble. And those who have solved it can move on to this question, okay? Those who have solved it can move on to this question. So what are you going to do here is you've got the X and the Y, right? Think about these as the X and the Y points, okay? Think about them as the X and the Y points. So you can think about X as -1, right? And Y is +1, so that's going to be here. Then X is equal to 0, Y is 2, right? These points here are actually the coordinates, right? These points here are actually the coordinates. Then you got 1 and 3, so that's going to be here, right? 1 and 3. So now you've got these points here, 0, 2, -1, 1, right? Now your job is to, first of all, as I always mention, find the Y is equal to mx plus b, right? Y is equal to mx plus b. Remember, the m is the slope. So m is equal to any of these 2 points, right? So let's take these two, right? So what do you get? 3 minus 2 over 1 minus 0. And if you don't know this, you have to attend my regular sessions, okay? But then the m is equal to 1, and then the b is the y-intercept right over here, which you know is 2, right? And so that's the correct answer. There are a variety of ways of doing this. Now let's look at this one. Okay, look at this one. Let's see how many of you are getting it. All right, try it. Well done, well done, well done. So this problem here, you can think about it in a variety of ways. You can move this and this becomes 40, right? You can think about it this way. And then you can solve a variety of things here. You can solve this to be, what is it? 60, 60, 80. So this is kind of like a nice cluster here, and it moves the same way here. This is gonna be 80, this is gonna be 40. Look, it looks very similar, right? This one, and those who have attended my sessions, they know this shortcut, okay? So it just quickly moves over here. It's the same thing here, okay? So that's why X is equal to 40. Not only that, this part is 60 here, this is 80, this is 40. You can just quickly copy. So if you're having trouble with that, okay, so that's why A is 40 here, okay? Now let's move on to the next one, okay? And if you have difficulty, if you have any trouble, just let me know. I'll explain it either now or in the right through email, we can talk about it, okay? So now try this next one that's coming up, folks. Okay, well done, good speed. Okay. So of course, this part is a no calculator section, so it's slightly easier, but don't make any errors, okay? This is the part where you might get trapped by making some careless errors. So try this one, and those who have gotten this are gonna try the next one as well. So guys, try this one first, okay? Well done, Hafsa, Richard, David, Christy, nicely done. Safia, it's nice to see you. Joe, well done. Ben, Ivan, well done. Good to see you again. It's been a while. Okay, so all you're gonna do whenever they ask f of 4, right, you're just gonna plug in the x value here, right? So you're just gonna put in, that's all it is, guys, okay? So just put in 4 squared minus 5 times 4 plus 6, okay? And then you can calculate your answer. Right, what do you get here? So you got 16 minus 20, 16 minus 20 plus 6, right? So this value is going to be, if you add 16 minus 20 is -4 plus 6, right? That's 2. So that's your answer, okay? Now try this one. Try the second one here. Well done, Giorgio. Kyle, nicely done. Okay, now this is a super standard problem, okay? This is a very, very standard problem. There's really nothing to it. Those who are having difficulty, there's really nothing to solve here, try it for a few minutes. Okay, try it for a few minutes, and then I'm going to explain it to you. All you need is you've got a total of, can spend up to a total on 20, right? So the streamers, right? I'm just going to write down streamers. They cost $1.49, right? And then the balloons cost $4.39. So I'm just going to write them. The balloons cost $4.39 per pack, right? And now S is the number of packs, right, for the streamers. And guys, we've done this problem many times for those who are my subscribers and have joined this boot camp. And those who are having trouble, let me know. There will be a session coming up again anyway for this, okay? And this is B. So the total cost is just going to be, you're going to multiply this, and you're going to multiply this. Very, very standard way to solve it, okay? And then that's going to be your total value, right? This is going to be your total value, right? 1.49 multiplied by the number of streamers, and then this, and just add them together, and that should be equal to 20 or less, okay? Can spend up to a total of 20, okay? So you can easily see this is like, you can even use process of elimination. This is clearly out. This one is clearly out. And all you got to be careful about is this a less than sign or a greater than sign, right? Is then many of you have done it correctly. It cannot be greater, it has to be less than, okay? But if they ask you something like this, can spend a minimum of 20, right? If it's a minimum of 20, then it would be this answer, okay? But of course, they're asking can spend up to a total. So up to is an important number here. That's why it's B, okay? Okay, so I think many of you are getting it, right? So be careful what they're asking, okay? Can spend up to a total of 20, all right? So that's important. Now let's move on, folks, to the next problem here. And if you're having difficulty, if you're not able to understand a problem, this session is going to be recorded, right? It's going to be recorded, and you can watch it. Clearly, the people who are part of this boot camp right over here, right? It's a 20-hour boot camp right over here, right? And I teach all of these, personally teach live instruction, how I'm teaching every session, right? You get into the depth of percents and exponents, then rates, right? What we were doing right now, right? That's linear equations right over here, linear equations, inequality. So you understand every single thing that is basically asked for your test, all right? So now try these two problems here. Give me 1 second, I'm loading it up. Okay. Well done. Try it. Try it on yourself. I'm not going to spoon feed you, okay? You have to try it by yourself. That's the power of solving it together, right? That's the power of solving it together, okay? So try to do it yourself, okay? And be careful. Be careful what's going on. Well done, CG. Nice to see you. Good to see you again. All right. So excellent. Excellent job. So some people are shaking over here on this problem. Okay. This problem is so easy, guys. Don't mess this one up. Okay. Okay. So don't mess this one up. Yes, we'll come to the referrals, Joel. Just remind me. I'm going to talk about the referrals. At that point, I'll tell you how do you show proof when you recommend this course to someone. Okay, so be careful. So I'll tell you that. But for now, just give me 1 second. Let's solve this. Okay, so remember, you've got 100 miles to go to the family, right? This is a linear equation problem, and we've done this before, right? So it's basically 100 miles, right? You have to go here, right? And plan to travel 250. So the first day you travel 250, right? So you have how much you have left? You've got 1,000 minus 250 left, right? Then the second day, it's another 250. Then the third day, it's 100 and 250. And remember that example which I've told you before, like Jim had some amount of money and then he gets some money. Here, the amount is being removed, right? Every single day, 250 is being removed. So that's why the answer is 1,000 minus 250n, which is the number of days. Note, here is the number of days here, right? It just gets subtracted. Okay, now this one is super easy. All you got to do is just group them together, right? If you have just a plus sign, it's easy. Just get rid of the brackets. You really don't have to do much here, right? And then group them together. Remember, the idea of grouping is you combine the group terms, like terms together, x cubed, then take x squared, and then when you combine these two, x minus x, that's gone. And so you get x cubed plus x squared, right? That's this answer. But what if this was negative? What if this was negative? Then how would you do it? Then in that case, you would do x cubed plus x minus x squared plus x, and then you would add them, so you get something like this, right? You'd get something like this. So, but of course, that's extra information for you, but just this one is so easy. So don't mess it up, guys. I think you are gonna do well in this test. Okay, so let's move on to the next one. And again, all of these questions are going to be recorded, so you don't worry if you're gonna miss anything. If you miss anything, and there's a good chance you might miss something, right? So that part will come soon. Okay, you can always watch the recording later. Okay, try this one now. Okay, try it. Be careful. Be careful what's going on here, okay? The most important thing is I'll give you the hint. Take this number here, right? And remember, f of x here is just y, okay? F of x is just y. So that's all. If you're not able to see on your screen, zoom into that image, okay? But use this, you're gonna get the y-intercept. And then once you have the y-intercept here, right? So you can see this is, remember, this is from here to here is 10, right? From here to here is 10, which means each of these is 2, 4, 6, 8, and 10, okay? So remember that. And now what they're saying is when x is 0, f is 2, right? So when x is 0, that means the y-intercept is the first one you calculate, right? Okay, so you got this guy, and this guy's clearly out because that doesn't work, right? And you've got this guy. So now you can work on these three possibilities, right? Now, this one is out. Now think about, what's an easier one to think about? Think about negative 2 here, right? Negative 2, which means x is negative 2 here, right? That's the point. And you can see that this is positive, while actually the answer should be negative 2. So that's gone. And here again, maybe you can check out negative 2 here is negative 10. So that's gone, right? So negative 2 is probably somewhere over here. Okay, so that's why D is the correct answer. Okay, excellent job. Excellent job. Watch the recording again in case you don't get it. Okay, but I think many of you are getting it. So well done. Let's move now to this problem. Okay, this one is again going to be easy for you, many of you. Okay, super easy problem. Don't mess it up, guys. And then I'll give you a shortcut for this as well. This problem is meant to trip you up, so be super careful on what you do. And many of you have seen my hacks before. Remember, anytime there's an equivalent written down over here, anytime there's an equivalent, right? Those who are having difficulty with this, you can always put x to be equal to 0, okay? Once you put x to be equal to 0, guys, look what happens here, okay? This becomes 2, right? You just cancel out all the 2 terms, okay? Sometimes this trick works great, okay? Sometimes you have to work hard at it. But look, the answer becomes 2, 1 over 2, 4, 1 over 4, right? And now get rid of this x and this x. So what do you get? 2 over 2 squared? 2 over 2 squared, guys, is equal to 2 over 4. That's 1 over 2, right? And then you just match it, and there you are. Okay, that's how easy it can be to solve this problem. Of course, there are other ways to solve this problem. I'm going to show them right away to you. X plus 2 over x plus 2 squared, right? So it's basically something like this: x plus 2 to the first power over x plus 2 to the second, right? Like this. So you can write, maybe you should just write it this way: x plus 2 um, over x plus 2 over, right? X plus 2 times x plus 2, okay? And then you can cancel out one of these x plus 2's, and then you have 1 over x plus 2, right? So I can see many of you are solving this. Well done, well done, well done. Wow, amazing. Okay, so this one was clearly easy. This one is a bit harder for you. So remember, these x and fx, they are just coordinates, okay? So this test, this particular test, is a little bit heavy on these functions. It depends on who sets the test, right? Maybe the teacher who set it up, they love these tables here. But these tables are basically just, if they say x and f of x, remember, f of x is just a fancy name for y, right? F of x is just a fancy name for y. And then whatever the point you get here, -2, -2, right over here, you've got -2, -2. I'll just get rid of this and I'll show you for those who have having difficulty. It just basically the point right over here, -2 comma -2, right? Like this point over here, okay? So be careful, be attentive, understanding this piece is just means the coordinate points written down in this tabular form. It just means, this basically means -2 comma -2 right over here, okay? And then it's easy to solve the problems, okay? So thanks for your patience. I know many of you want to solve the next one. So let's go and solve the next problem. Okay, so let's try. Gurmahak, you can email me later. I don't quite get what you're saying, but let's chat offline once the session is done. But some people are just jumping on this. Wow, I like it. I like the spirit, guys. So excellent job. Try it. Try it. Try it. Try it. Okay. Okay. And we are just getting warmed up. This is just the first 10, 20 minutes, right? So there's more coming up, but don't mess up these problems, okay? These problems are your bread and butter, right? You need to get that score. So be careful what's going on, okay? Now, guys, this problem is super easy. All you got to do is plug in these values inside here if you wanna. Okay, just plug in these values inside here. There's a variety of ways of solving it. Those who don't know how to do y is equal to mx plus b, all you got to do here is find the m. Okay, find the m and you're done. But those of you who are having difficulty, just plug this guy in here and see if it works. Then plug it in here if it works. Then plug it in here if it works. Plug it in here if it works. There will be points where, and then you got to check if this works as well, okay? So be careful. And let's move on. Those who have solved this, try number 10. But the reason I'm waiting, I'm not giving the answers immediately, is I want you to solve this, okay? I want you to solve it. Think about it, and then I'm going to give you the answer, okay? Okay, and then after 10 is over, I'll explain to you a little bit on what the course is about, okay? Whoops, sorry. Let's see, okay. Okay, so what you got to do here is you're going to take the formula for the slope, y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1, which is also the rise over run, right? So I think it's better to take this bigger number always instead of this, right? So you take 15, right? 15 minus 3, right? Over 15 minus 3 over 5 minus 1. So you get 12, 15 minus 3 is 12 over 4, and then 12 over 4 is clearly 3, right? And that's your slope here. And the only piece where here which has the mx, right, this part to be 3 is this line here, and so you're done. Okay, but in case you have difficulty with this, right, those people who are still solving this, you can always plug in 1 and 3 here, plug in 1 and 3 here, right? If you plug in 1 and 3 here, look what happens. Yeah, it doesn't work out, so that's why you can cancel. Maybe this one as well doesn't, this one might work, so maybe this works. But then remember, you have to also plug in this guy here, okay? But the better way to do it is y equals mx plus b, right? Now here, right, what you got to do here is the equation has infinitely many solutions, and we've done this before. Many of you who haven't looked at my linear equations, yeah, plugging takes less time. Yes, it does work. So whichever way it makes sense to you, do it. But remember, if you just put in 1 comma 3, be very careful. If you put 1 comma 3, look, this is going to work because it's 3 is equal to 3 times 1, right? Guys, pay attention here, okay? But maybe even this one works. Why? Because 3 is equal to 1 plus 2, right? So you might have 2 possible choices, but then you got to come with this guy, okay? And then this will only satisfy this, and it won't satisfy this one, okay? So if you're watching this video, be careful. You just got to be careful with this plugging concept, but it works very well. Excellent. Yes, I agree with you, Ivan. So now look at this. What you got to do is you got to move this here. Okay. First step. Always, here's a trick. Anytime you have to solve something and there's a divided by is equal to 4 or whatever, right? 4x, whatever is underneath, just move it to the top here. So that's the #1 trick for these SAT types questions. Okay. So 4x plus b is equal to 2 times, I'm going to move this 2 over here, 2x plus 8, right? And then we're going to do 2 times, we're going to distribute this. Remember, don't forget to distribute it, 4x plus 16. Okay, 4x plus b is 4x plus 16, right? And it has infinitely many solutions, right? What does it mean? The x coordinate ties out and the y, so the slope is the same. Remember, we've done this before. The infinitely many solutions, right? And people who are new to this, they don't know this, but people in my course know this very well. For infinitely many solutions, we've talked about it. The slope is the same, which means 4 is the 4, right? 4 both on same side, you're already given that. And the y-intercept is also the same, right? Which means b is equal to 16, right? So that immediately comes from the equation, the stuff that we've learned before. And well done to many of you who were actually prepared for it. So very nice. So looks like, wow, many of you got D, some of you haven't. So take your time in understanding this. And of course, this is, again, guys, this is all part of my 20-hour SAT course, right? So here, the stuff that we were doing was right over here in system of equations, because these are kind of system of equations and like 2 lines intersecting, right? We've got 3 full hours of instruction on algebra, and time passes like this. Okay, look, it's already a half hour since you joined and you wouldn't even realize it, right? So it passes very fast and everything sticks because you're seeing other people solve these problems in addition to you solving these problems, right? That's important. So remember, that's very important for you. These 20-hour practice sessions, right? I've got all the topics, and then I can even give you feedback on what topics you need to work on, right? And this course is, right now it's $95, right? Until August, it's $95, and then later it's gonna go to $200. Okay, so remember, it's gonna go, the price is gonna increase. So if you ever want to buy this course, and some people are asking what's the link to buy, what's the sign up, so I'll give you 1 minute. Let me just explain to you. It's a 20-hour course. It's a one-time payment, and you can buy it right now. But if you have your test later, it makes good sense. Just take it, and then you can always come back later, right? So you can use this. You can just email me. One person just emailed me this morning. They want to hold off on preparing right now, but they got the good deal. They got a great deal because they're getting the course at $95. Price is just going to increase, okay? At one point, this was $395, but just because of COVID-19, right, we're reducing it. So I'm going to give you the link. I'm going to give you the link. Yes, and I'll give you the cheat sheet, Elisa. Yes. So I'm going to give you that link right now. And then we'll work on the problems here. Okay, so remember, this is like, some people have scored more than 200 points just paying attention to what I tell them. Because guys, unlike many other courses, we are just taking the exact SAT problems and we're going to work on them, right? So here's the link, okay? Once you click on this link, guys, you are going to go to this page here. And then all you got to do is, this is the sign up page, right? This price is going to increase very fast, very quickly in the next week. So it's going to be gone, and just click on it and you should be able to take this course, right? Of course, many of you have taken this free session, right? This is just a very small piece of the whole puzzle, right? There are so many things in it, right? Not only am I going to teach math, there will be a few reading sections as well. There's going to be how to take the test. Then there's actually solving these problems, right? So you're getting a lot of worth over here, right? So be careful. Try these problems and work on them, right? So, okay. So let's now move on to the next problem here. Oh yeah, and the referral. Yes, two people were asking what's the referral system. If you recommend this course to anyone and they end up buying it, if they end up buying this course here, right, they get a discount and you get a reward. You get a $15 reward, right? So imagine if you recommend this to 6 people, right? So 15 times 6 is 90. So then you get this course for free. And many people have actually kind of earned money based off of this, right? Because they have so many friends. But even if you give it to 2 people, right, it just benefits them as well, right? You give it to your best friends and ask them to attend the session. Okay, so let's get started with this one now. And those who have solved it, sorry about that. I just need to load the next one in. Well done, Georgia. Good job, CG, Jasmine, Jarena, David. Excellent job. Okay, try this problem first. And once you have this, try this one, okay? The y-intercept concept. Okay, so this problem here, right? Those who are having difficulty, what we're doing here is what is the area in square units of the figure, right? Now, the quick thing you got to draw here is a line right over here. And those people who have attended my sessions, they can easily solve these problems. So you draw a line here and now this becomes a square, right? So this becomes 4 and this becomes 3. Now, of course, you know the area of this square is 4 times 4, right? So that's 16, right? 4 times 4 is 16, the area of a square, and plus the area of the triangle. Now, remember the height is 4 here, right? Remember the height is 4, the base is 3. And so now you know it's half times 4 times 3, right? So that's 12 divided by 2 is 6. So that's why you get 16 plus 6. That's 22, giving us B as the correct answer. Okay, all right. So that's easy, right? Remember, these are geometry problems. We've got 2 full sessions on this, okay? And then we've got tons of practice problems. Okay, all right. So that's good. Looks like many of you are able to solve this. Wow. Great response, folks. Okay, now let's look at this one. What is the yes, how do you get the reward for referring a friend? So if your friend attends the session and they end up signing up or buying the course, right, just ask your friend to give your name, right? And this is how many people have done it, right? To give the name, and once they actually buy it, they get a $5 discount and you get a $15 discount, right? So let's say your name is John, right? And let's say Kyle wants to buy the course, right? So Kyle's going to say, hey, John referred me, right? And then, okay, I'll make a note of it. And then when Kyle buys it, when Kyle buys it, I'm going to tell him, great, Kyle, you get a $5 discount on the course. And then I remember John has given this course to you, right? So John gets a $15 reward on it, on top of it, right? So only when he buys the course, right? Once he buys the course, then you get this reward, right? Okay, so what's the y-intercept? what's the y-intercept here, right? Of the graph, right? Y is equal to 4 to the x, right? So 4. Remember, the y-intercept, guys, is the point where, right? Imagine a line, right? The x coordinate is 0. So all you got to do is you put x is equal to 0 here, right? Once you put x is equal to 0, you get y is equal to 4 to the 0th power. And if you don't know what this value is, right, this is 4 to the 0th power, which is 1, right? That's a basic exponents part. This again is our exponent section right over here, okay? So the exponents part is somewhere right over here, okay? So but I think this should be easy, right? So that's 1. So remember, there's 2 choices here, so they might try to confuse you here. This is x is equal to 0, right? And y is equal to 1, and so C is the answer, okay? In fact, you don't even need to solve 1. You just note that x is 0, and boom, you get the answer, right? You really don't even have to work hard at it. Yeah, I missed this. So you don't even have to solve this. Just set x to be 0. That's the point. You don't have to worry about anything else. That's the only one that has that 0 value as the x coordinate. Okay. Now this one. This next problem I'm going to show you, there's 2 ways to do it. There's a quick way and there's a longer mathematical way. Okay, so try. Some of you are going to get the quicker way, and some of you, I've shown you how to do that in our quadratic section, and it just saves you some time. Okay, but here it is. This is the full application, guys, of our the stuff that we've done before, right? You should get this answer just like that. Yes, yes, exactly right. That's how you do it. Yes, there's a quick formula to find the sum of the squares, okay? Sum of the roots. Yes, the sum of the roots has that particular formula, and I'm going to tell you that formula right now, okay? Okay, this one is getting a bit difficult for you guys. Remember, you don't need to factor anything, okay? You don't need to factor anything at all. X squared. So what you need to do is move this to the other side, right? You get x squared, and when you subtract 2x from here, right, you get negative 16x, right? And then subtract 1 from here, you get 39, okay? Is equal to 0. Okay, now you're asked what is the sum of the solutions, right? And the answer, guys, is very, very easy. All you've got to do is take this number and write it over here and take the negative sign of it. Okay, put a minus sign in front of it, right? So negative times negative is positive, and that's 16, and that's why this is your answer. And this is how many of my people, many of my subscribers who have gotten the course are doing it. It's super easy. You don't have to factor it. Okay, you can factor it, and we're going to look at it. It's a good idea to understand how to factor it. Okay. So how do you factor this? You take 39 and you break it into factors such that the sum is 16, right? And so that's 13 and 3 and 39 is equal to 0. And so you can write this as x minus 13 times x minus 3, right? And so the roots are, the solution is 13 and 3, 13 and 3, and then you 13 and 3, and then you add them, you get 16. But look how quick this one is, right? How quick is this, right? Okay, so some people are asking me for the shortcut. All you got to do is you got this equation here, right? This quadratic equation. Take this number here, right? This number in front of the x value, put it right over here, and then put a negative sign, and that's your answer. Okay, when you have the sum of the solutions and the coefficient is 1. Okay, so whenever the coefficient is different, that's another piece of the puzzle. But right now, when the coefficient is 1 right over here, that's all you got to do. Okay, hopefully you got that. And then here, of course, you're factoring it, right? Here, that's easy. You factor it, and then you get 13 and 3, and then you add it, and you get the answer. Can you give us another question like this? Some people are asking. Can you give us another question? Okay, guys, let's try one question real quick. Yes, it's one here. Let's try another one. Anytime you have a 1, you can use this trick. Okay, so there's a 1 here like this, right? Which means there's nothing here. 1, it's the same thing. Let's try one more. Okay, let me think about it. Okay, try this. Find the sum of the roots, guys. yeah, right. That's what I'm talking about. So you just take the negative 24, then you subtract it, then put it here. Boom, you got it, right? The other way, the long way, right, is like math fans will love to do it. It's gonna be because you need to factor it, right? So 15 times 9, okay, 15 times 9, and then 15 times 9 is 135. 15 plus 9 is 24, right? So now, of course, the roots are 15 and 9, and that gives you 24. What if the middle number is positive, right? Take it like this. So great questions, great question, Chani. So what if the number was like this? What if the number was like this? Just take this whole thing, right, and put a minus sign. So the sum of the roots is negative 24. All right, the sum of the roots is negative 24, right over here. Okay, so x plus 15 and x plus 9, right? That's your factoring. That's your factoring. And you get x is equal to negative 15 and x is equal to negative 9. These are the roots. And then when you add them, you get negative 24, right? Which is what you got here anyway. You got 24, put a negative sign here, okay? What if the coefficient of x squared isn't 1? Then you just divide it. Let's say, just as an example, okay? I think people are very interested in this, so let's do that real quick. What if the coefficient isn't 1? So you got 4x squared and plus 16x plus 16 or something, right? So what if the coefficient isn't 1, guys? You're going to take this number, write it down over here, put a negative sign as usual, and then divide it by this number, and that's your answer, okay? Because the coefficient was 1, you divide by 1, right? So I just ignored that piece here. But if the coefficient isn't 1, then you take this and put it right over here, and it's the same thing. So now the sum of the roots is negative 4, right? Sum of the roots is negative 4. Okay, so let's move on. I think that's enough. Let's quickly solve the remaining problems now. Okay, let's try to solve this one. Okay, try to solve this one. Okay, so this one was good, and try to solve this one now. Remember, guys, this is from a very recent publicly available test, okay? So work on it. There could be similar problems of this type. Okay, the answers are flowing in now. Folks, be careful. This is a problem where many of you are gonna trip and fall, okay? So just be so careful about this. This is just garbage. What's the point of giving this? It just meant to trip you up, okay? Just invert this. You need this guy here, okay? Take it easy, okay? Take this S, put it down first. So you got L. I'm gonna get rid of this piece over here because this is done. I'm gonna solve it over here, okay? The first thing you're gonna do is you need to isolate this piece, okay? So you divide by S. So you get L over S is equal to 1 minus V over C, okay? This, by the way, this is like a Einstein formula for those of you who are interested. Yes, excellent. Excellent. Gurmak, you're doing well. Okay, so now this one, okay? Now be careful, guys. What do you do? How do you get How do you isolate this piece? How do you isolate this piece? I'm sorry, there should be a square here. There should be a square here. Sorry, this was originally like this, right? All I'm doing is moving the s down. So now you square it, right? You square this guy, so the square root goes away. And those who are having difficulty, there's this whole section on squares, nonlinear equations that we cover. Okay, now this one, right? And now, how do you do this? Think about this. How do you write 1 minus x is equal to y, right? It's the same thing. So be careful. How do you take x? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add VC over C squared to both sides. Okay, this cancels out. So you've got L over S squared plus V squared over C squared is equal to 1, right? And now what do? You want to get rid of this L over S squared, right? So be careful. You subtract L over S squared, like this, and this goes away. And so now you've got V squared over C squared is equal to 1 minus L over S squared. So I'm just going to write this as square over square, right? You can distribute it. Now you can move. What you can do is you can take C squared here, or you can actually take the square root of this. So this goes away, and you take this over here, and now move the C up. So you got C over here. Remember, there's a negative sign over here. Okay. Okay, so this is a problem 14, right? This is an important problem, the ability to invert. Okay, this is the March 2020 QAS. Okay, this is right up from here. I'm picking this problem right up from here. Okay, look, this problem. So you need to know how to solve this, right? This is coming right away from here. So be careful on what the problems are, right? You need to understand how to work these. Okay, so this is good. Let's move on now to the next piece. Okay, let's try this one. Now problems are getting interesting, right? Now they're getting interesting. So that's the reason why you do these practice sessions with me, right? And then do the instructions, right? So now there's going to be the second part of this test, right? Which is of course available to my subscribers who have joined in, right? Who've bought the course and who have been working hard with me. The next part of this test, okay? But this was a free part, like the first half, okay? For many of you who are taking advantage of it. Okay, so try this one now. Okay, for this one, what you got to do is the half-life. What's the meaning of half-life? The half-life means that after 150 years, guys, pay attention, right? Pay attention, because pretty much everybody is messing up. Okay, well done, Joel and CG. CG, getting the correct answers again. Very good. Half-life is 150 years. What does it mean? After 150 years, the 200 grams becomes 100 grams. Okay, that's the meaning of half-life, guys. This is part of the exponential models. Okay, this is part of exponents that we've done in our series, right? Yes. So do it, and then people who are actually who just want to comment to me privately, you can do that as well. So Chani, if you just want to ignore the comments, you can just privately comment to me, right? So you can do that as well. But anyway, guys, so remember, half-life means after 150 years, the 200 becomes 100, which means when t is equal to 150, the a value should be equal to 100. So now plug in t over here, right? This guy is t, okay? And if you're not able to see it, this is t, this is t, this is t, this is t. Okay, so plug in t is equal to 150, okay? And see if you get the value of a to be 100, okay? I'm gonna squeeze this a little bit, and then we gotta solve the next few problems. The next two problems are super easy, so I'm gonna put them side by side. For those of you who have solved this, try to solve it, okay? Try to solve these next few problems here. Okay, solve this one. But for those who are solving this one, right, all you got to do is you got to substitute t, right? You got to substitute t to be 150 and just put in t is 150 here, right? Then you get 150 times something, right? That's weird, right? That's too much. You're going to find out eventually that when you plug in t is equal to 150 here, right? And this is, you can calculate it, you're going to get 200 times half raised to 150 over 150, right? So 150 over 150 is just 1, so that's gone, right? That part is gone, and all you're left with is 200 times half, right? And that's equal to 100, right? And that's what you're wanting, right? 200 goes to 100. None of these are going to give the answer except this, so D is the correct answer, okay? Okay, well done. 2 is easy for you, right? So if you guys, if you're not able to follow this, it's okay, right? Once you've got so many other problems to work on, so you should always spend a maximum of 2 minutes on every problem, okay, and then move ahead. Well, this one is easy. This is just, you're going to take this point here and this point here, and then y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1, right? Right. So it's going to be, what are the coordinates here? 0, 4, 0, 4. And by the way, those who have solved this one, move on to the next one. I'm just going to post it over here for you. Okay. Let's get rid of this. And of course, there's a recording of this. So try number 17 for, okay. Meanwhile, I'm going to look at this one. So remember, guys, over here, right, you're going to put in, and this value here is -2, 0, right? Now, all you got to do is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1, right? So 4 minus 0 over 0 minus -2, right? So that gives you 4 over 2, which is equal to 2, right? So that's your answer, okay? All right. Now, this one, okay? Try it, try it. Excellent job. Yep, try it, folks. Yeah, the middle part of this test was a bit hard, but I think the remaining parts are going to be easy. Okay, so this one should be super easy. This is just multiply. This is just substitution, right? Meanwhile, this was 17. Okay, now we got to speed up a little bit here. So I'm going to get rid of this. Whoops. That's 17. Those who have finished 17 can try 18 here. And remember, I've already told you, so if you're not able to do 17, you need to watch my system of equations session, okay? That's all, every single thing is explained. Whatever is in here, right, I've explained it before. That's the reason people are able to solve these problems so quickly, okay? So all you gotta do here, guys, okay, that's 17, 18, and 19, okay? So 17, remember, whenever you have just this kind of a thing, or y is equal to some number 4, right? You're just gonna plug this 2x, right? 2x is equal to 2.5 right inside over here, right? So if 2x is equal to 5, then x is equal to 2.5, right? And then that's easy. Now x equal to 2.5, plug it inside here, so you get 2.5. plus y is equal to 5, right? And then subtract 2.5 from both sides, right? And so this goes away, and so y is equal to 2.5, and so that's your answer, right? Now this one, remember, they're only asking the positive value, so there are two roots to this, right? Anytime you have this, guys, there's two roots, so be careful, watch it. So you got two roots, so the two roots, you can write it like this: x minus 1, x plus 1 is 0. You basically got to take these factors and you got to set them to 0 here. So x minus, this is 0, so x is equal to 3, right? And then the other one is x plus 1 is equal to 0, so x is equal to -1. But now be careful, they're asking about the positive value of x, okay? So that's the only answer, and this is wrong, okay? That's the only answer over here. Okay, looks like many of you are able to get this. Now let's try 19. This is again so easy. 3x, all you got to do is add 0.6 over here, right, to both sides of the equation. This cancels out. 3x is equal to 2.4, and so x is equal to 2.4 over 3, which is 0.8. So you see, some of the problems are so easy, then they became harder. Now they're becoming easier, right? So well done, well done. Excellent. So this is good. Yep, try to solve it. Some of you are still trying to solve the last one, okay? So that's number 19, and then we're gonna do number 20. Yes, people are asking, how do they join this session, right? How do they join the boot camp? So I'll explain that in a quick second, but let's see how you can solve this problem here. Okay, so this one is good. Now let's try to solve this next problem. Well done, Richard. Yeah, that's a fraction that works. Okay, so now the 20th problem. Okay, so try the 20th problem, those who have already solved this. If you haven't solved it, try to solve this one first. Okay. So guys, remember, you're told that this radius is 6 root 2, right? This radius, this is a harder problem. This is, of course, the last problem of the non-calculator, so it might be a bit difficult, but be careful. 6 radical 6 root 2, right? That's the radius. So what's the diameter now? What's the diameter of this? What's the diameter of this? It's 12 root 2. Right? The diameter is 12 root 2, guys. Remember, this, a circle is inscribed, a square is inscribed, which means it's drawn like this, okay? Inside. Inscribed means like this, right? With radius of this. So the diameter, now people are getting it. Excellent. So you see, you got to draw these figures. That's why I keep telling you, you need to keep drawing these figures. Okay, so it's 12 root 2. Now, you need to remember, I've told you before in the trig section, anytime you see a root 2, it's going to be a 45, 45, 90 triangle, okay? So this one, as you know, is 45. This is 45, right? So if this is root 2, why did you do the diameter? I did the diameter because I want to look at the square, which is over here, right? You're gonna explain, you're gonna understand right now. I did the diameter because the diameter, guys, is the diagonal. The diameter of the circle. The diameter of the circle is also the diagonal of the square, right? Just look at this square here, right? The diagonal is also 12 root 2, right? And now memorize this fact. Just memorize this fact. If the diagonal is 12 root 2, the side is 12. Okay, this is a 45, 45, 90 triangle, 45, 45, 90 triangle, right? So look, that's the benefit of doing problems with me, is that the big benefit of doing these problems with me, guys, is that you solve these problems. Even though you're making mistakes, you realize, oh yeah, I know Coach Ash told me this idea, right? He told me this. My voice will be in your head when you actually solve these problems in your test, right? You remember there's a root 2, immediately you know it's like a diagonal, or it's a 45 45 90 triangle kind of thing. So this is 12, this is 12, this is 12, and this is 12. Okay, you can actually check it using the Pythagorean theorem. If this side is 12, this side is 12, and this side is 12 root 2, you can check for yourself that 12 squared plus 12 squared is going to be equal to 12 root 2 squared. Okay, so again, this is for the people who already have my sessions. That's where they're able to answer these, but this is important. Okay, so that's the piece of the puzzle. So because this is 12, 12, 12, 12, 12, so you got 48, right? That's your answer over here. Okay, so remember, people are again asking. I posted the link to my course here. Let me just post it one more time. Okay, remember, you can get as many as 200 points. Okay, just doing this. Just doing this kind of practice sessions, right? Looking at these problems, and I've got tons of these practice problems. Okay, so linear equations. Look, all of these problems I've collected from the past tests right over here. These are the linear equation type of problems. Okay, these are from the practice tests, all kinds of variety of tests. All of these problems are collected together. You're not going to find this kind of a set anywhere else. Okay, I've selected all of these problems and the answers for them. So you focus on one section, you completely master it. Okay, these are all the problems that you need to do, and you can see to the right side of the screen, right? There's how many pages there are. So all of the problems are the same type. Once you solve like 3 or 4 or 5 of these problems, you'll see it's the same. And linear equations is important, right? Then there's the geometry part, right? So you've got the geometry right over here. Right? All of these practice sets are available for the people who have joined my course, right? So that's why it's super important to understand what's going on, right? All of these problems are SAT style, right? So if you're interested, right, let me know. You can click on this link, and then you're gonna go right over here, right? And then you can just tell your parents, right? So many parents have emailed me and told me, wow, Ash, my students are actually learning from me, right? So that's it right over here. So you're gonna get all of these courses, right? Everything is just $95, and it's just here for 1 week. Even if you're taking your test later, just buy the course now, and then you can use it later, because later it's going to be $200. Okay, so, and this course is it, right? You just come here, work with me. We do these sessions 4 times a week. Okay, and this time it was 5 times a week. So that's all you need, guys. I'm giving you the simplest stuff, and you can go to YouTube. It's going to be all spread out, and you don't know where to work, and there's no practice sessions, right? This is like pure practice with you. Everybody's doing it, and you're going to be super excited to do these, right? So okay, so somebody's asking if the course is already going on. So here's the idea, folks. The course is a cycle. Okay, so we just finished word problems, and we're going to start percents and exponents. So you can join anytime you want, right? Because the word problems is only slightly related to percents and exponents. Okay, so you're not just moved, you just jump in, you get an idea of this. By the second session, you're flying, right? Then you do the linear equation. So if you're joining today, the next session is going to be percents and exponents. Then it's going to be ratios. If you were to join last week, the sessions would have been something like this. Then they would have been probability, then mean, median, mode, range, word problems, right? So it's a cycle. You don't have to join at any particular time, right? Linear equations, if you join. So you can join anytime, and there's not a set time where you have to like, oh, I have a membership kind of thing, where no, you have to only watch 10 sessions. You can watch as many as you want, okay? As many, I mean, you could watch something like 50 sessions if you want. I don't care, right? I'm only happy that you are learning, and then you are getting a great score, right? That's what I want you to do, okay? In my private sessions are now $80 an hour, okay? My private sessions are $80 an hour. I live in New York City, and I do these private sessions. But for everybody else who's not in New York City, right, this is a great deal, right? Just $95, and you're getting pretty much everything that's there laid out in front of you. So you can join the session immediately, and then you're going to get all the video recordings, you're going to get the flashcards, you're going to get the cheat sheet, right? The people who join this course, they also get this amazing cheat sheet, which is the most important formulas. Yes, thanks, Ivan. Thanks, Ben. Yes, so spread the word, right? Not only that, okay, so it's got all the formulas, guys, that you need. Every single thing, like this formula is super important, right? This percentages, counting, all of these formulas, probability, right? And then of course there's the geometry piece, right, which is super important right over here in the back, right over here. All of these formulas are crazy, right? People have really sharpened their score. The people who I know just recently, of course, this was earlier late last year, right? Some people were getting something like 500-ish or so, right? And their score has gone to something like 690 or so. Okay, so just focus on these, right? And those of you who are getting 650, right, you can, using this, you can get to something like 725, 750, right? So this course works for everybody, and I'm here, I answer your questions, right? So with that said, maybe we can try one or two more problems, and then we can talk a little bit. This was only going to be a 1 hour session, but let's try a few more problems, okay? So we finished so look, we have finished this section now. We've finished all these problems we've done, right? We finished all of this problem. Remember, this was a slightly complicated, tricky problem, right? Now we are going to this section here, which is the calculator section. It's got 38 questions, and we are going to do just a few problems, and then we're going to call it a session for those of you who have this, who are on the free session, right? But for my subscribers, later in the day, we're going to continue this, okay? We're going to continue this section, right? And we're going to solve all of these other problems, as you know, right? So the party continues, right? I know there's only very little time left for your test, which is why you're getting these sessions. These sessions are on top of whatever I'm offering you, right? Practice tests, 1 hour per topic, then you get the instructions, right? And then you're getting these practice sessions. You see exactly what's coming on the test, right? So you're not gonna get this anywhere, and people charge like thousands of dollars for less than half this material, all the big companies, okay? So do me a favor and see if you like it, just let me know, and you're gonna do great. Okay, so let's get started. Okay, this time we're going to move a little bit faster because I do want to finish part of this. This one is super easy. Thanks, guys, for listening to my speech. I got to make a living too, right? I got to eat. I got to sell something. $95 is a reasonable amount right now, I'd say. Okay, so try this and this. Okay, this is super easy, right? If S is equal to 4, that's peanuts, right? That's just plug it inside here and you're gonna get the answer, right? The answer is 20. That's easy. Just plug it in here. 20 times 4 minus 15 times 4, right? So that's 80 minus 16. That's 20. So that's this. This is, oh my God, what is this? Right? Is this like a NASA problem right over here? This is the easiest problem, right? So guys, pay attention to this problem. It's super easy. It looks, what's going on, as easy as that. Okay, the greatest, right? This is an important question, by the way. They show you some function and they ask you what is the maximum quantity, right? This is the maximum one. That's 1985. Okay, super easy. Now let's go on to the next one, and then maybe a few more, and then we'll be done. Okay, so let it be. So here it is. Okay, so here it is. Okay, so here it is. Okay, Yeah, don't worry about it, Chani. You can post it privately to me, right? Like people like to post it. That's the fun part of kind of people posting it in public. They like it. They enjoy it. It kind of increases the vibe, right? So yeah, guys, feel free to post in public if you want. But Chani, you can ignore them. You can post to me in private if you want. Up to you, right? Because people like to post it. They kind of enjoy this group activity. So social studying, right? So feel free to post it, folks, whichever way you want, privately, in public, whichever way you want. Yeah, one thing you can do, Chani, is you can then ignore the Zoom chat, right? Just write down the answers, Chani, on your piece of paper, right? You don't have to post it. So just post it on your piece of paper. Yes. And then we're gonna quickly complete this section here, right? So this part is easy, right? What you gotta do here is from the order this, right? What fraction of the Australian marsupial, right? So you're gonna ignore all of this. Again, we've done this before, guys. Okay, so all you gotta do is what fraction of the Australian? So is this paramelmorphia, right? Paramelmorphia, this is this guy. So it's gonna be 24 over this quantity, right? And this quantity is going to be the sum of all of this. Okay, so what's the sum of all of this, folks? One plus 71 plus 24 plus 2 plus 137. Okay, so that's 235. Okay, so that's this answer. Okay, that's the, okay, Ben, well done. So so guys, this is an important piece here. I think we should wrap this session up now. I'm just going to give one last problem here. Okay, and then just one last problem, and then we should be done. Okay. Yeah, people have scored such an excellent amount of like their SAT scores are really, they couldn't imagine they've gotten SAT scores this good because we are actually solving the problems right from the test, these publicly available problems, right from there, right? That's how you got to study, right? Don't study useless problems. Okay, look, you know this problem, I've shown you how to solve this problem before. Okay, so super easy, right? Something like this. And this is like a bonus problem for the rest of you. Now, guys who are in my, who have already subscribed to me, right, who are part of the bootcamp, you're also gonna get the, as I mentioned before, a reading section, right? So you're gonna understand how to read these English topics, okay? So I'm gonna show you how to read the English topics, okay? It's gonna blow your mind how easily you can read it, okay? So that's the bonus part. It's kind of like a, the people who are my longtime subscribers, right? They know this. It's kind of like a session that I do. It's going to improve your English scores as well. So that's something you get on top of the $95 usual course, right? That's for my subscribers. It's coming on. It's coming up on Monday. Okay. Okay. So try this problem. This is something that we've done before, right? Super easy. Median means this number here. Okay. And this is, by the way, 120%. What does it mean? This divided by 100 times 2000, right? Divided by 100 times 2000. So this zero goes with this zero. And so you get 2400 here. And then this one here, all you need is this point here, right? This middle bar, okay? This middle bar over here was gonna be right over here. Let me get rid of this. And then we're gonna close the session over here, okay? So once again, folks, 1625 is just this point right over here, right? So that's it over here. Okay, so we did spend a lot more time than I told you, right? But don't overdo it, right? I'm showing you the exact problems that you need, right? And then I give you feedback as well, right? So you get tons of stuff in this in this course, right? This is the link, right? This is the link for solving these problems and work on them. right? Remember, if you click on this and one of your friends clicks on it, right, you get a reward of $15 if they buy course and you're referring it, right? Many people have done it. So do that as well and spread the word, right? Because I'm doing it by myself, okay? So I'm the only person running this, so it helps. So perfect. Thank you very much for attending, right? I'm glad so many people attended, right? Many of you like this. So I hope to see you again in the boot camp. With that said, I'll talk to the rest of the people later in the day to continue on. Okay, so this 7 problem over here, that's the idea of box plots. If you don't know box plots, it's part of the usual syllabus. Okay, all right, guys, see you soon. All right, bye.